All right, let's get it rolling, guys.
Todd Jones says you didn't give him Space Jam juice at halftime, but what did happen in that locker room at halftime?
Those guys, it's the way the game works and the opportunities that are in front of you. If you commit to the opportunities and you stay together in this game, it's unbelievable what will happen. And that's what the team did, and that's what we talked about in the locker room at halftime. To be honest with you, you guys are out there, you saw it. We made some mistakes in the first half. They're really easy mistakes to clean up, simple things of us just doing our job and doing it really well and just focusing on our 111th. And those things aren't hard to clean up when you just commit to doing that. And that's what they did in the second half.
How would you assess Taylor's play, especially in the second half?
Well, he ran up and down that field. I think he had 105 yards rushing on 8 attempts. It really showed what he's capable of doing in terms of stretching the defense. Not only what he did on the perimeter in terms of the zone reads and stretching the perimeter of the defense, but you can obviously see what happens inside for the running backs, the lanes that creates, and then obviously the vertical run game that's able to come off of that stuff.
It seemed like he had more freedom.
Go ahead, Jay.
Talk about finding rhythm on offense. How long have you been waiting for what happened in the second half where you truly put the opposing defense on their heels and there wasn't much they could do?
Yeah, we believed all along that we got the right guys and the right personnel. I was really excited for them, especially the O-line. They did a tremendous job. The coaches did a really good job at halftime talking to the players about, number one, the coaches did a really good job in the locker room at halftime about the things that we needed to get to, the adjustments we needed to make. The players believed in those. They stepped up, and they did it. And a big shout-out to the O-line, because they were persistent all night, and obviously in the third quarter and fourth quarter it really showed.
Obviously with Taylor in the second half, he did no running. What I guess changed in the second half, and why was he able to do that maybe as opposed to the first quarter when he didn't really run a whole lot?
Well, they weren't stopping it, so Coach Cutter's pretty good at what he does, obviously, and I don't know why he would stop running it until they did. And so he's, again, it opened up the interior run game as well, because there were bodies flowing to the perimeter trying to slow them down. There is an element to, being able to manage what you have within the game plan and be able to get to things. They adjusted on defense too at times and gave us looks where we had to get out of those run plays because obviously they got really good coaches over there as well that understand and know the things they need to do to take it away.
This is the first time since the 16 that you've had 200-yard rushers in a game. Kind of an obvious question, but how much easier is it to get into rhythm when you're having that kind of success?
The chains are moving. And the offense is on the field, and those chains keep moving. The likelihood of scoring points is really high. And so when we talk about having an offense that is efficient and effective, no matter what the style of the offense is, it always starts up front. It always starts by being able to create. And as we move forward, we'll continue to grow. This is just the starting point. This is just our opportunity of where we start with the personnel we have and where we grow from here. We got a lot of work left to do. When we come turn on this film and we watch it tomorrow, we're going to look at it, and there's going to be some things that, obviously we got to clean up.
This hasn't been an easy week, and obviously you had to make a tough call last week. To see it kind of pay off tonight of your decision and everything you've done, how much satisfaction do you have?
I'm just happy for the team. I'm very grateful for our players. I'm really, and for our staff. The biggest thing is our team. Like we said, as we move forward here, the most important thing is our players, what they deserve, our very best, us continuing to put them in the best positions, and that starts with our process and our preparation, how we build the esteem and the confidence into them to be able to do what they did tonight consistently.
What did Coach Cutter do this week to set you guys up for success? And then when it comes to play calling, it just seemed like he was able to get guys in a rhythm. How was he able to do that so well?
Use the personnel and what they're good at doing. It's not that complicated. He's really smart. He's really smart, and he's really detailed at obviously getting ourselves in situations formationally, personnel-wise, and getting plays called that players can run effectively and efficiently. And obviously that moves the chains and gets us in rhythm, and it gets momentum for the team. It was a little slow to go in the first half, but let's be honest here now. We were working at it for a week. It was going to take us, and we got a lot more to improve on and to keep growing at, and we're just really excited, for the players. They saw a return on investment today and what they invested in this week and what they committed to, and that's what we're most proud of.
Sam had an extended look there in the first half. Was that a message to TG? And if so,
No, I don't even. It's not a message when you know that's part of the plan, So it wasn't a message at all. It was an opportunity for us. Again, if you just do the same thing over and over, it's not going to work. They got really talented players and coaches over there. You've got to be able to mix it up, and that's what Sam's opportunity was. And obviously, he was able to go in there and hit a couple shots for us.
TJ had 11 tackles, 4 tackles for loss.
Yeah, there's a lot of runs going to the boundary. They saw something they wanted to get over there. I know. Yeah, there were certain situations that we figured that they saw on film that they wanted to go that direction on, and DJ did a really good job, as well as DJ don't make those plays without Scotty over there into the boundary, without Dimitri in front of him. Caleb Biggers set some edges over there that funneled. I mean, it's an effort over there in the boundary, and it was an all-out attack on the boundary side with the run game, with the running back lead as a lead blocker, and obviously the quarterback running the ball.
How big was Tyreek Jones' interception in terms of getting you guys some momentum and the spark that you needed?
Well, it's an unbelievable way to start this second half, and we were close on getting another one down there too. But here's the thing, when you just do your job and you do it really, really well, things come to you, and we don't need to press in situations like that. Again, what we talked about in the locker room at halftime, doing our 111, being excited about doing our job and doing it really well, and the game will come to us, and it happened right away, right in the second half.
The defense, faced 2 quick drives where they got the ball inside your 5-yard line, allowed just a field goal both times. Just how big was the defense in keeping you in the game when the offense wasn't working early on?
Yeah, it was huge. Early on down there, we were in the loudest part of the stadium. That always helps too. I mean, I got to give a shout out to Bronco Nation. It's awesome being down there. It would matter the side of the field you're on, but there's something different about being down there. That's a serious home field advantage that we're very grateful for. But for the defense to go, and hold to a field goal in those situations is huge. You get through that opening script. That opening script is typically pretty challenging to get through, if you know what I'm talking about in terms of an opening script.
I'm sure you chased down some talented athletes when you were during your days as a linebacker. When you're chasing a guy like Taylor Green who's got the length to eat up 3 yards per step, how frustrating and demoralizing is that for a defender?
Yeah, it's hard. Again, that's just one of the phases of his game that he can continue to grow on. What that does is that loosens up defenses. I mean, we already saw the effect of it in the interior of that defense tonight and what George and Ashton were able to do because bodies were flowing to the perimeter. So it's not just him and himself, but it's what he's opening up for the rest of the offense as well.
I would say it's such a grind, but looking at your sideline during the fourth quarter, it seemed like you guys were believing and they were having fun again. When you talk about the payoff for what they put in, I mean, how much will that help them chase it again?
Yeah, it has. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's been a grind. This is our 3rd Friday game of the season. It's been a grind. It's been a grind for our coaches, but that's what we're committed to. That's what we're here for, to work to be the best for our guys. And again, we've been on both sides of this fence already this season, and we know the things that we're capable of doing. We know what we need to handle within our process. We got another tough challenge next week, okay? It doesn't stop. We play in a good conference, and we play against good teams week in and week out that is going to demand our best. And what we saw out there today is what we saw at practice too. We saw guys having fun. We saw guys that were committed to helping each other and having each other's back, no matter whether it was offense, defense, and special teams.
Tyreek said it was a confidence booster, kind of having defense be dominant while the offense was really clicking, having both happen at the same time. For you to see it kind of happen at the same time, what does it mean for you and for this team to continue establishing an identity? I know it's only been a week with this offense, but how important was that to have both sides working on it?
That's where we get to build going forward. Not only that, but special teams. Like, we got to obviously clean some things up. We can't we cannot be putting ourselves in the position. We've done really good things in special teams to help change the game, and we've done things that that we're more than capable of being better at. And we're clicking in all three phases, and we're efficient, we're effective, and that's something different. That's what we're capable of. That's the consistency we got to build. But that doesn't happen unless we handle this process one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Tomorrow's a day off. We got to handle that like a championship team. We got to take care of our bodies. We got to get our rest. We got to make sure we're doing the right things off the field. That's how all three phases come together. That's how they become consistent. And again, I won't shy away from the fact that we're excited about the guys that we have on our team and what they're capable of becoming and the type of young men they are. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.